Hello, and welcome to Comics with Jose. My name is Jose. I love comics, and I want to share them with you. Follow me on Twitter at artofjvelez, Instagram at jvelez622. I share comics that I'm working on, as well as a couple doodles and drawings that I do for fun. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe if you like this channel. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to do Superman Annual 11 from 1985, written by Alan Moore and drawn by Dave Gibbons. This is the team that does the Watchmen series. So this is a precursor to Watchmen, as these two did a Superman story. This story has been adapted into the Justice League cartoon from the mid-90s. Like all the stories that I'm doing and showing everybody, I own them. Even though I'm showing them to you in digital, I actually own these books myself. But I do the digital because I don't like taking them out and actually, ruining them or kind of getting them in there. So we do digital. It's also much easier to have a digital copy than the physical copy for purposes of showing people. So this story is considered one of the greatest comic book stories of all time. Where it ranks, it just depends on who you ask, but it is in everyone's top 100. So it's considered one of the top 100 greatest stories of all time. And as you know, comic books have been around for a very long time. So it's pretty good. So we start here in a futuristic city. And as everybody knows, Kal is Superman's Kryptonian name. He's known as Kal-El, son of Jor-El. Kal is his first name. El is his last name. So, happy birthday, Kal. So, he apparently has a wife and 2 kids. So, after that, we start with here now with, you can see Batman's cape here, and then Wonder Woman. And then this is Jason Todd as Robin. So Dick Grayson has moved on as Nightwing. Jason Todd has replaced him. And he's wearing the old costume. So, of course, Robin looks a lot different than what you're used to. So, why people go to the Arctic and not dress better is beyond me. But hey, it's comic books. Don't overthink it. So, she introduces her new Robin, or his new Robin, to Wonder Woman. So, Wonder Woman does not feel the cold, as you can tell by this little joke. This is how people whispered, or when you wanted to show somebody whisper, you did this kind of in the balloon, bringing it up. So, something that was also a part of this era, when he was written by the Brits, and Alan Moore is British, is the words chum. He would always call him chum. So every time he was written by a British guy, he called him chum. So they're going to Superman's Fortress of Solitude, which appears to be open. So they come in and begin looking for Superman. And they're all stunned by what they see. So what do they see? Well, we're going to have to see in just a moment here. First, I want to talk about Dave Gibbons. Dave Gibbons is a solid artist. Great composition. Part of what I really enjoy it when other artists, I just think it's funny when I do it, but when other people do it, it's kind of cool. Just the marks. If you can see here, These marks, they're made to convey shadowing rather than just doing blacks. And this is a very old school way, and I really admire, if you take a look, they just put lines here and there. They just, it's very cool. I don't personally do that in my style, but I admire them. Every time I try to do it, it just looks, to me it just looks silly on the with the way I draw. But when others do it, I very admire that. So these marks that you can see here, down here on the side. So off we go to the big reveal, and Superman is um, surrounded by this plant. And this is in his heart. He seems to be in a trance. And the name of our story is For the Man Who Has Everything. Alan Moore, writer. Dave Gibbons is the artist, and he is the letterer. Um, this is before the crisis of Infinite Earth. So this is before um, the DC Universe rebooted itself for the first time. It has since rebooted itself 3 times, but this is right before the first one. So this is the original DC Universe. Once again, I just want you to look at the marks made here in the drawing, in the composition. Very cool. Just, they're everywhere, and it's just admirable when people do that. I don't personally, like I said, I don't personally do it, but I admire when others do it. So they notice that this plant is sort of possessing him, and they want to see what's going on. It appears Batman's investigating. If you can take a look here, he's goes right into being the detective, and deducts that he is in a world of his own. Something's going on in here. So we now can tell that the beginning was that plant doing something to Superman. And so he is back in the world. But as you can see here, he knows something's not right. And Superman's wife in here is called Lyla. So we appear to be in Krypton. So in this, Krypton has not blown up. And this would be Jor-El, Superman's father. In that very neat architecture that was for this. If you have seen Watchmen, you can just see all the stuff that Dave Gibbons brings. Very Watchmanish, of course, when you're the illustrator. I mean, but his style is very unique. You can always tell a composition that's drawn by him. Dave Gibbons is also British, so he is a British export here to the U.S. Part of that first British invasion, as you would call it in comic books, with Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman, Dave Gibbons. So they're having an argument. I'm not lingering too much into it because it really doesn't matter. It's just kind of filler for the story. The real story is, of course, what's going on in reality. This is just all in Superman's mind. Just going back into this, I guess whatever happened here, he's a little angry, but um, again. So They're trying to see exactly what is happening when, from here, someone's revealed to have been there. And here he is, our big bad for this issue. So his name is Mongol. Mongol is a dark side type character, tyrant ruler, and it's all the qualities like Thanos and Darkseid and all those types of creatures or characters. He basically had wanted to get Superman off the table, tired of getting his butt kicked by him, and the plan is called the Black Mercy, and it allows the person, it gives them their heart's desire. Um, it here it tells you that it's telepathic. It reads them and gives them logical stimulation of the happy ending that they desire. And it's easy to take off, but they don't want to. And he sent it to Superman, and now it's in there, and he wants to conquer the Earth. And Mongol's gonna kill or try to kill our heroes. I'm gonna pause here real quick so that show you the screen tones. As in that era, screen tones were applied, and this is the day before digital, so you actually had to paste them in there and then with an X-Acto knife take them out so the eyes wouldn't be there. So it was a very meticulous process to do it. And here we go. Let the fighting begin. But Mongol is a tough, so it's not as easy. So he's going to try to kill Wonder Woman first. So back inside the dream. So again, we're not going to linger too much into the dreaming portion because it really doesn't matter too much. This would be Supergirl, Kara, apparently suffering some kind of cancer. If it's supposed to give him the heart's desire, I don't understand why he would have Supergirl dying. So I wonder if it's probably him trying to break out, knowing that this isn't real. So just kind of forwarding this pretty quickly here. So back in reality, here's Wonder Woman going through a wall, fighting Mongol, who's extremely tough and hard to kill and hard to fight, just like Thanos or Darkseid would be. Again, some more screen tones. Great composition here. That death ray did nothing. Superman has all sorts of weapons in the Fortress of Solitude that he sort of collects. He doesn't use weapons. Meanwhile, Batman is still trying to figure out a way to take that off him while Wonder Woman keeps Mongol. And if you're wondering why Wonder Woman is fighting him and not Batman, it's because Batman does not have superpowers. And of course, Wonder Woman is probably the strongest, one of the strongest characters, period, in the DC universe. And definitely the strongest woman in the DC universe. But she's extremely powerful. So it's the fact that she is having a hard time with Mongol tells you how strong he is. So again, we're sort of going back to that dreaming. Again, we're not going to linger too much into it. But just here, Superman has a feeling. He sort of knows something's going on. And here he says, I don't think you're real. Superman's realizing. and you can see here he's beginning to cry. Batman is trying to take off the plant. Seems to have a um, it's losing its grip. Um, and Batman takes it off. Here's a remember here, Superman thinks it's real, or at least it feels like it's real. So taking it off is basically um, torturous because now Superman's gonna come back to reality, and now it's going to get in on Batman. Of course, his origin is his parents were killed, but here his father does not die and is able to overpower Jor-El. Jor-El is the name of the man who killed Batman's parents. And Bruce Wayne appears that he's going to live happily ever after. And then they realize Superman is awake. I love this that panel there. It's just amazing. Look at that. Who did this to me? I love the coloring. Um, the magenta and the soft just here all kind of the same, just different shades of the same color. Very cool. And a Batman in a two shades of blue, showing kind of like he's almost dying. And so he tells him who he doesn't know who his name, but as he describes him, Superman can tell who he is. And a loud scream, which hurts Robin's ears, and off he goes. Wonder Woman is almost defeated, but here comes Superman. He uses these gloves to take it off so that the plant doesn't get him. Here Superman attacks Mongol. He's angry. He tells him if he understands what he did to him, as Robin has managed to shake off that plant away from Batman. Mongol, of course, knew what he did. He wanted him to realize that it would hurt him to try to get away. And tells him a happy birthday. He's going to try to kill him. But of course, this era, Superman was a little bit more aggressive than what you're used to. It wasn't quite as American way and apple pie. He was a little bit tougher. Hits him with the X-ray vision, and Robin's finding a way to try to dispose of this thing. Puts it in a bag, and off he goes. Mongol is upset. He hurt him, and Superman's just very upset. You know, he was pulled away from something that made him happy, knowing full well in that instant he had a whole life, and lost a wife and two children that he never really had, but he felt like he had them. Continues to fight, and Robin's got the Black Mercy, and Mongol's about to beat Superman, and Robin throws him the Black Mercy. It lands on him, and in his dream, he dreams that he killed Robin. Of course, he didn't. And that he killed Superman. Of course, he didn't. And that he conquered Earth. But of course, he didn't. And so now they need to see what they're going to be to do. But he says he's going to throw him into a black hole, which of course he's not. And so Wonder Woman gives him his present, which is a duplicate of the bottle city of Kandor, a Kryptonian city that was shrunk by Brainiac. And he he appeared to already have had one, so in super speed he uh, went to check or get rid of it or put it somewhere safe. And so and Batman had given him a plant that was called it was a new breed called the Krypton, but it died when Mongol stepped on it. And so and sort of with a joke, does anybody want to make some coffee while I clean the place up? So we end with an epilogue, just like we begun with a prologue. And Mongol, here's Hawk, the Thanagar, the planet where Hawkman and Hawkgirl are from. And Brainiac's bowing down to him and all these other villains as Mongol has conquered the world and he is content. So he gets his happy ending, sort of, but not really. So Alan Moore is such a great writer. So hope you enjoyed this Superman Annual 10 from 1985, written by Alan Moore, drawn by Dave Gibbons.